This is Hrtv Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
Got a quick time for a bullet drill.
Okay.
Real quick, the Rebel Stakes at Oaklawn Park is one of the features.
Okay.
Who sang Rebel Yell?
Rebel Yell?
Yeah.
Billy Idol.
Hey, you're right on that.
I know
didn't
that
think
one.
you get that.
Oh, I know.
Besides O'Brien, a stake here at Santa Anita, famous Irish last name.
Well, Sullivan. Silky Sullivan.
Coming from way back.
Silky Sullivan, yeah, okay.
How many wishes does a leprechaun grant?
I'm going to say 3.
Would you take the gold or the wishes?
I'll take the wishes because then I can wish for the gold. I have 2 more left.
Always thinking. His mind's like a steel trap.
Lanez, this 4-year-old filly, in watching her races, Kurt, I think she's a filly that either has a very light mouth because any contact caused her to throw her head up. The thing, I don't know, will she relax? She's got to relax. I think 6.5 furlongs is going to be the best thing for her. Put her down the hill where she can't really pull.
Now it is Sarneen taking the advantage. Sarneen in front, Lanez on the outside. Logical Single battling on the inside. Logical Single, Lanez, Sarneen. Here is Lanez to win it. Lanez perfectly timed. Lanez up to win it.
She got tactical speed. She's one of those fillies that are very light mouth. You can't fight it because she throw the head up in the air. So today it was perfect. They were going, I don't know how quick they were going early, but she was able to relax, attacking right behind us. Also, before I crossed the dead, I just put them in a clear.
You must have been happy when you saw the post position draw because for whatever reason, this filly runs well out of the 8-hole. I mean, there was no logic to that, but she has won a couple of nice stakes out of the 8-hole.
Well, Martine in the paddock, before I threw him up, I told him she loves pink. Today was her 4th California-bred stakes win. All 4 were with the 8 on.
So St. Patrick's Day is going to be somebody with pink this time instead of green.
Right, exactly.
Whichever jock comes closest to the pin, Santa Anita Park will be donating $1,000 on behalf of that rider to the Permanently Disabled Jockeys Fund. Okay, nail it. Hey, that's pretty good. Oh, not bad. Oh, she wants to go to the ladies' team. We'll allow her to do that. You ever do this in Cajun country?
I haven't. I'm pretty scared, man. Everybody's so close.
I just want to say Corey shoots like a girl.
Here, I want to get some good luck. There we go. Good going, Martine. Oh, right on target. Patrick, nice job. And it looks like we're going to be cutting a couple of checks for $1,000, huh, Nate?
In 1934, a new horse racing venue was set to open in Southern California, Santa Anita Park. However, the architect of this premier facility lacked one major element, the announcer.
This was 1934. There's a firecracker at Bay Meadows that's calling up a storm. The guy's name's Joe Hernandez. Well, Strube got on the phone that afternoon and called Joe there and said, I want you here at the opening of the season. You're hired. And we'll see you then. And Joe turned around and walked out, and he had the calling job at Santa Anita.
Particularly on the job here at Santa Anita, he was very conscious of being reliable. You know, when it came to, he'd scare the hell out of people by showing up at the last minute, but he was always there, you know.
There we go. For over 34 seasons, track announcer Joe Hernandez never missed a day of work.
The impact that Joe had on horse racing is one of a legacy, you know, one that will live on as long as there's racing at Santa Anita.
Radio, television, whatever he did, people would hear him, and I think it played a big part into helping racing become what it is today.
He was one of those kind of guys that people, you know, that he kind of rubbed off on you and always seemed to have a good disposition, you know. Perhaps my fondest memory, you know, the way he dealt with other people. I really enjoyed it.
Regally Ready, Blue Chagall. Here's Leroy's Dynamo with a late run. But Regally Ready out past them. Regally Ready, a stylish performance, won by about 3.
When you see the list of riders that have won the George Wolf Award, what goes through your mind?
Just all the history and all the great guys that have been, you know, that have won the award. And, you know, I guess I'm the 62nd or 63rd one. You know, so it's not a huge list, and to be, you know, honored in that company is quite an honor.
What was the reaction you got when you walked back into the room after they had announced that you were the Wolf Award winner?
Actually, I was in the winner's circle. I was standing out front here, and they were talking to me and just kind of holding me up and asking me questions that I didn't know why they were asking me questions. And then they turned it over to Gary Stevens and you guys on Hrtv, and he announced it right then. And then it was quite the surprise because they caught me off guard. And you know, usually they tell it or announce it over the intercom and system, Trevor or somebody, and they kind of caught me on a little surprise, little gag, and it was quite nice.
2011 George Wolf Memorial Jockey Award winner.
So once again, congratulations to Garrett Gomez, winner of the 2011 George Wolf Award. And here's the hug, by the way. They're all in mud. Like, Garrett's in a suit. Mike Smith, Gary Stevens. Thanks for that, Alonzo.
That's the end of that.
Rafael Bejarano. He's there, and Victor. They're covered.
That's the end of that suit.
Here with Brian Beach to my right and Chantel Sutherland, and I gather you've decided to stay. Brian, what was the determining factor?
Chantel, that was the determining factor. She took a long time to make her decision and try to weigh all the, you know, the ups and the downs and all the different factors that go into a decision like that. It's an important decision, and you know, I laid out, you know, all the dirty details, and that's the decision she came up with. So we're happy with it because we know that's exactly what she wants to do.
I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to Del Mar. You know, having said I'm excited, I am a little anxious. I'm just hoping, you know, you will hope that you make the right decision, but I think in life there are no right or wrong decisions, just decisions. And this is what I think that I feel like I should do right now. It's a goal that I've always had, and I'm really happy, but, you know, nervous a little.
Malibu Pier takes the advantage, turning top, coming with a nice run in the center. Malibu Pier turning top, gonna run for the wire together. Malibu Pier digs deep, finds more, turning top, can't get her, and the more they asked, the more she gave. Malibu Pier wins. Juniper Pass stretching him every yard of the way. It's a thriller through the stretch in the San Luis Rey. These two game horses, nose and nose. Neither one of them will give an inch. Juniper Pass, Rafael Bejarano, Dahoud and Joel Rosario. Juniper Pass all won it. Juniper Pass up to win it. Juniper Pass has won the San Luis Rey.
Coming up on Hrtv Rewind.
Factor leading it, and he draws clear. A big and wonderful Rebel win for the Factor. He'll take it by 5 lengths.
This is Hrtv Rewind, with a week of racing to recap.
Richard Migliori now joins the show. Richard, would it be safe to say that the Factor has more to prove at this point than any other high-profile 3-year-old in the country?
Well, what he has to prove is if he can actually go a distance of ground. I don't think he needs to prove how brilliant he is. He's one of the best 3-year-olds in the country for as far as he goes. That being said, now he may get this trip, a mile and a 16th, first time 2 turns, run to the first turn and might back him off a little bit. And there's really nothing that can chew on him early. So if, you know, I'm Martin Garcia, I'm going to break like a church mouse. I'm not going to breathe the first 100 yards. I'm not going to get in his mouth. I'm not going to ask him. And I'm going to hope that I get him to prick his ear somewhere along the way to save something.
The Factor has the lead. On the outside, Caleb's Posse coming on. Also right there is JP's Gusto, but the Factor's not giving way. The Factor has something left. Caleb's Posse on the outside is still second. It is the Factor leading it, and he draws clear. A big and wonderful Rebel win for the Factor. He'll take it by 5 lengths. Caleb's Posse second. Arch was third, and Saratoga Red fourth.
got a nice trip. You know, he slowed him down as much as he could. When I saw the 46 and change, I thought, well, he's got a chance to do it. And when he turned for home, you know, I was hoping that, you know, he's going to kick another gear, and he did. And, you know, he ran a great race, came back. You know, he's blowing pretty good. He really needed that race, but I was really excited about it. And, you know, he's really, he keeps moving up and up the ladder, so we're really excited about him.
I never thought about, like, he cannot go the distance. I always think, like, he can go that far. Because the way he been working, the way he been running, he just have like natural speed, and then the main thing was like take it like easy lead, and then he will handle it, and then that's what happened.
Martine told me that at about 3/8 pole, he took a big breath, realizing he was going around the full turn this time, twice. And when he turned for home and asked him, he had his last race acceleration, so it was very, very exciting.
At what point in the race did you take a deep breath, George?
Well, you know, we all prayed that no one would go eyeball to eyeball with him. Very, very inquisitive, Martine said, going around the first turn for the first time in his life. And that caused him to be kind of settled down because that was new. I think we all started to relax, probably at the quarter pole when he really looked like he was putting his head down and going to accelerate, and he came home in a very fast last 16th, so he finished up well. And Martine, we laughed, didn't look at the wire. I think he rode him around the turn another 100 yards just to make sure he'd won, so he got a lot out of it.
And down the middle of the track, here comes Blind Luck coming to see her old friend. Ava de Grasse leads it. Blind Luck digs in with Garrett Gomez on the outside. It's Ava de Grasse leading the way, and Ava de Grasse is going to win the Aziri. The final margin will be about 3 lengths.
This filly, she's just a super filly, and we think she has just an incredible year ahead of her. And, you know, to tie the stakes record coming off of a 4-month layoff, I think that would just kind of tip her hand to what she may be this year.
And Blind Luck, I think she might be fixing for another fight. You'd be game for that if she came back?
Well, you know, she's always a formidable foe, but yeah, we're always up, and hopefully we'll be up for it, and she'll be up for it, and everybody can enjoy a great year of this rivalry between these two fillies.
Everything about inside information represents a who's who in American thoroughbred racing.
Well, you never know if they're going to be a champion, but you always hope they will be. But she was a good filly. She was in the money so often and always competitive. And she ran as hard as she could every time. She had amazing speed to stay up in the front end. And her stamina to be able to carry that speed over a distance of ground was outstanding.
Like all the Phipps's horses, Inside Information was bred and raised on one of the great horse farms in Kentucky, Claiborne Farm.
I was thinking about it the other day, and I thought, you know, the Phipps have had horses here at Claiborne longer than most farms in central Kentucky have been open.
Her trainer, Shug McGahee, has trained 8 champions, including Personal Ensign and Easy Goer.
You never know if you got a champion or not. A lot of times that, you know, some of them will distinguish themselves from the others, but she was kind of more of a leggy filly, and she was beautifully lined filly, but she didn't really have the mark of something that was going to be really fast, and that's what kind of always surprised me about her, was how fast she was.
Hilda's Passion's pulling away. Hilda's Passion's got a 3-length lead. Amen, Hallelujah next, and then Stephanie got even. No doubt about the Inside Information. It's Hilda's Passion. She won by 5. Over Amen, Hallelujah, Stephanie got even, and Ms. Venenza in 1 minute 20.45 seconds. That's a new track record. La Luna de Miel second to the outside. Then comes Tear Up, Endless Expanse trying to make a late run. It is still Giants Play. La Luna de Miel, Endless Expanse trying to close in. Tear Up on the outside. La Luna de Miel has the lead late. La Luna de Miel has won the Orchid.
Up next on Rewind.
A new name on the Gold Cup Roll of Honor, and Long Run has won a memorable Gold Cup.
Quantum Miss by 2. Coke's Liberty is second. Quantum Miss trying to hold off Coke's Liberty, and Quantum Miss does it.
Welcome back to Fast Track here for a Sunday. Peter Lurie alongside the trainer, Gary Mandella.
If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm getting my stopwatch ready.
Stopwatch app?
On my cell phone.
We want to show you something very entertaining down at the fairgrounds for charity. It was the Memorial Jockey Fund 50-yard dash. Jockeys from the starting gate. John G. Dooley has the call.
Locked and loaded for the 2011 Chick Capella Insurance Agency Allstate Insurance Don Macbeth Memorial Jockey Fund 50-yard foot race. Under starter Evelyn Benoit's orders. They're off, and what a great start it was, and a fast start for Jose You Look Marvelous Camejo, but there goes Chester. Chester Superfly Bonnet and a photo finish along with Jose You Look Marvelous Camejo.
Anything done in fun for charity, I'm all for. That's great.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
Great. Hopefully we'll do something like that around here. That's terrific.
I'm not sure who it was, but somebody kind of broke a little tardily out of the gate.
and didn't persevere afterwards.
Kind of eased up.
Eased. Shirt call on him's going to be eased.
All right. A lot of fun. John G. Dooley keeping it entertaining down at the Big Easy. There would be no arguing that the best horse ever to carry the Meadow Stable colors was Secretariat. But the 1973 Triple Crown winner wasn't the first Meadow Stable horse to create a buzz. A plucky filly by the name of Cicada was one of the first champions owned by Meadow Stable founder Christopher Chenery. Cicada had a bit of celebrity surrounding her even before she reached the races. Her dam sire, Bossuet, was one of the horses involved in the famous Triple Dead Heat that occurred in the 1944 Carter Handicap. Cicada was a serious racehorse from the get-go. Her 13-race juvenile campaign yielded stakes wins at Saratoga, Belmont Park, Aqueduct, Delaware Park, and Garden State Park. One of her most gutsy career performances was a loss against males.
About an eighth to go on the inside. That's Cicada on the outside. Rydan, the two horses are noses apart. They come across the wire. It's Rydan.
Suffering no ill effects from what could have been a taxing effort, Cicada and jockey Bill Shoemaker bounced right back and took on the best 3-year-old fillies in the country in the 88th running of the Kentucky Oaks. The Oaks victory came in the midway point in her career, and there would be many more glory days to come for the 3-time champion. Cicada's ultimate achievement, however, would follow her retirement when she was inducted into racing's Hall of Fame.
It's Quantum Miss with the lead over Roman Treasure. And then comes a Dream, who's racing in third. Coach Liberty on the outside in fourth. They pass the furlong pole. Quantum Miss in front. Here comes Coach Liberty on the outside. Quantum Miss by 2. Coach Liberty is second. Quantum Miss trying to hold off Coach Liberty, and Quantum Miss does it.
And tomorrow, Gold Cup Day. And in the nightcap today, we just heard a very familiar voice, and that was Mark Johnson. You recognize him from Churchill Downs, of course. Tell us, who calls the Cheltenham Gold Cup this year? Will you be calling it?
I get to watch the Gold Cup this year rather than call it, but that doesn't mean that we haven't had a really good look at the race. And Long Run is an incredibly exciting horse. He's only a 6-year-old, which is interesting when we sort of talked about the likes of Zenyatta, who was sort of becoming a veteran when she was racing, and Long Run at the same age is actually a very, very young horse. But he is incredibly exciting. He was the best 3-year-old jumper in France. He was formerly trained by France's top trainer Guillaume Macaire. He was bought by Robert Whaley-Cohen, who is one of the board of directors here at Cheltenham, a very influential man in British jump racing. I was all over Long Run when he won the King George, and I think that might well be his Gold Cup. I just worry whether he's the same kind of horse around the undulations and going the other way here at Cheltenham. But he's a very exciting horse.
Well, I mean, you shuttle back and forth now. Do you still call England your home, or is it now Kentucky?
That's a very, very good question.
There's some loyalty issues here.
I just hope the immigration services aren't listening to this, but I think it would be very, very close now. I have to say, I have to say, when I land at Louisville Airport, I tend to now say I'm back home. I really do love Louisville, and I've got a little flat out there now, and I'm very proud to be part of Churchill, but I also absolutely love everything about it. So, yeah, I suppose I'm English, and therefore, you know, my father still lives in England, but basically, I think my heart's now pretty well in Louisville, Kentucky.
Long run moving past Cordo Star, and Denman comes towards the final fence in the Gold Cup and jumps it well. It's long run from Denman and Cordo Star, and then What a Friend from Midnight Chase off up the run in, and long run, the 6-year-old, is going to provide a new name on the Gold Cup Roll of Honour, and long run has won a memorable Gold Cup.
There's 13 countries represented, 96 likely starters all night long. This is one of the biggest race cards all year long.
Yeah, no question about it. It's huge when you've got a $10 million feature race on the card, a strong U.S. contingent, really, I think, led by the sprinters yet again, Jeff Siegel. I mean, year in and year out, we go into this race, and we have the best sprinters going across the Atlantic, as Mr. Vercruysse mentioned, and I think they've got the best chances this year yet again.
Yeah, and Kinsale King, who of course was so impressive last year, and Euro Ears. I mean, both these horses I think, are world-class sprinters. I think that we have a great chance to do. When I say we, the Americans have a great chance to make some serious damage. But Scotty, there are so many of them that are coming over, a total of 13, and every one of those horses actually, I think, belongs.
I do too. I really like your ears start things off. I think Champ Pegasus has a really good opportunity, especially we found out this morning, Racing Post reporting that Snow Fairy will not run in the Shima Classic. A small issue. She'll be focused in on Royal Ascot. And I really like I Want Revenge. Call me crazy, but Rick Dutrow has been saying he's wanted an invitation to the Dubai World Cup. He doesn't get that invitation. He gets an invite to the Godolphin Mile. He won this race in my first year in going to Dubai with Diamond Stripe. So I think I Want Revenge has a really good opportunity.
Champion Gio Ponti makes his return to the races. He's got a lot of hardware on the mantle. How would it be to put a Dubai World Cup trophy next to those?
For the trainer, it would be great. For the horse, great, and for the owner, great. I think there's only a plus there. Unfortunately, it's not easy. I mean, the horse, you know, I gave him a break after the Breeders' Cup, and he took a bit longer than expected to come back from his break. Nothing wrong, very sound, and he just basically has done almost too well in the break, and he got a bit too big, too heavy, and he winterized, and you know, it took me a while to get him back out of it.
He's as good as he was last year and the year before. I guess that's one of the reasons why he's been kept in training.
Correct. I think physically he looks as good as he has ever done. His weight is great. His shape is great. His soundness is absolutely great. Touch wood. He's been helping me for the last 3 years. He has overcome my training for the last 3 years. And if one horse can overcome the fact that he did not have a prep race, then Ponti is the one. You know?
That's all for Rewind this week. Here's a look at what's coming up next week on HRTV.